Okay, everybody, we're back again. Episode number 7 of the Breaking ROX podcast. Please do remember to like and subscribe and leave some comments if you like for us to respond to, and some feedback and what you'd like to see. Obviously, that's gonna help us out a lot in this early stage, and you know we want as much engagement as we can get. Welcome, obviously, again, Jake.
Thank
Podcast
you.
number 7.
That's it.
This one is going to be a bit of a wrap up for 2023, I feel. Maybe we can touch on some of the learnings we've had launching this podcast, some of the learnings we've had throughout the year.
Yeah.
Touch on some of the highlights, I think.
Yeah.
We've done a lot again in 2023. I think everybody has around here. And some lots of changes have happened as well. Lots of new people moving on, and new people coming.
Yeah.
So yeah, what do you think? What do you think, Jake? What do you think about today's episode?
Well, yeah, it's been a huge year, and we've got. I mean, particularly with the launch of the ROX brand, I think that's been one of the major highlights of the year. We've that sort of, well, really it was around this time last year where we decided that that's the road we're going to go down.
Yep.
And so we sort of started looking into it around then and started developing the brand, at the start of this year. And, now it's, in a year, or really since the launch, it's only been a few months, but the whole year's really gone into it. And now we've got a lot of content, got the podcast, the brand is looking awesome. We launched the brand at Amex, which we've discussed in here.
When was that?
That was September. Yeah.
September. That's right. Yeah. It's
really only a few months ago.
Yeah, a few months ago, but also still seems like ages ago.
Yeah, I know.
And I think, we do. Obviously, we were able to film some wicked content there too.
Yeah, for sure. No, that was cool. Yeah, no, it's, really, so ROX really has been the biggest highlight, and just as you said, the team has really expanded.
Yeah, it has.
We've developed the ROX team in particular, but also got a couple more of our CDEC team, a couple more guys out on site.
Yep.
Lots out the back here. We've got, we do some, that's really where some of the magic happens around here, and we've extended that team, got some really skilled people out there come on board this year.
Yep.
And it's really it's been a really big moving year, I think. Also a year of sort of consolidation for the business. We've started looking at what we do really well in the mining parts in the ROX division, but also in our design and manufacturing and engineering sort of construction area. We've really tried to get our product range into suited down to what we do really well, and I know you've played a really big part in helping with that whole area within management, and
absolutely,
that's it's cool to see a lot of that start to get kicked off as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think I think this has been 2023 has been a wicked year. Hey, like it's been full on. There's a lot that's gone on. I think if I look at my personal life as well and work life, it's been a crazy year, to be honest.
Yes,
but we're at the end again, and it's intense when, like you were just saying the other day, how we're nearly in the end of December, and like it's hectic, But I think we've done. If we talk from a marketing point of view, the launch of the ROX brand was awesome. The kind of acceptance in the market of the brand has been awesome, and like that continual growth of awareness around the brand is great. We've had some really good inquiries come in with people referring to the ROX parts, and that's once that starts to get embedded and things like that, that's when you start to know that you've done a successful launch. And launching a new brand's not an easy thing, especially when it's kind of rebranding something that was already existing and kind of trying to re-educate people on that.
Yeah.
So yeah, some amazing work's been done in and around that. Obviously, the podcast was launched off the back of that. I remember that was kind of. Remember that we were doing it was probably a strategy day, like probably almost exactly a year ago, I reckon.
Yep.
With myself, you and Andrew in the city there in that one of those shared office
Yeah,
spaces.
that's right. Yeah, that's right. A year ago.
Yeah.
Wow, when you
I reckon it could be almost exactly a year.
Yeah, could be.
I feel like we did the strategy day like the second
Last week sort of thing, yeah.
Of 2022. And that's where the idea of the podcast was born, and then now we're doing it, and that's a cool thing. And, but yeah, I mean, even now you look at like years gone by, we've got a city office now.
Yeah.
Last year we were in a shared space. This year we've actually got our own office in the CBD.
Yep.
That's a pretty big deal too, and I think it's a good thing for everybody out there watching and stuff to know about, and we're going to do some more marketing and stuff on that. Heads up, Bruce, for that one. We need to get into the city and do a behind the B of the city office and stuff like that. I think it's going to be an interesting one.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you reckon get down on St. George's with the cams and the mics, or what?
I reckon we could. Yeah, get something blind down.
I reckon far out. That's when things start to get intense, when you're in the hustle and bustle of the city.
Yeah, I reckon we could get a
some
little
pseudo reporter.
Yeah. I reckon we could get a little follow through of
walking,
Racy Boy just
bombing it down St. George's.
Yeah, down St. George's and up into the city office, and
I think we're going to have to
I reckon that
grab
would
a couple
be
of
great.
people. Yeah, we're going to have to do that, and then showcase. All jokes aside, showcase that. You know, where they're nice and close to a lot of our clients as well. It's a great office. It's really, really nice too, and plenty of space in there to have meetings. And the sales guys obviously use it a lot.
Yep.
In there with their power hours or power days, whatever you want to call them, for sales activities and meetings and things like that. And now we look at almost a year later, we're back at kind of square one in terms of brand launches. With the new brand, that'll be coming up. We're looking to launch that in mid-Feb, maybe by March latest.
Yep.
That's going to encompass our safety parts division. So having really trying, and then really siloing the focus from a team point of view. So yeah, when I say silo's not. I guess it has somewhat negative connotations with it, but siloing in terms of focus. I mean, the team will be still cohesive and work in and around together, but having dedicated focus. You know, like we do with the ROX brand. This new brand that we won't tease just yet. We'll tease that it's coming, but we won't release the name just yet. You know, having some key focus there as well. Which some planning's already been done around that. Yeah, it's only going to go from strength to strength, and like you say, like product development as well. Having like focused product development, redesigning and re-engineering some certain products and things like that, and then that CDEX service obviously feeding both of those.
Yep.
But yeah, so it's going to be. Look, we kind of get to this spot every year where it's like, how are we going to do more? How, you know what I mean? What's next? You know, there's always that kind of like. The year was. We look back on the year and it was awesome, and you know, lots got done and growth and team changes, but then who knows what's to come? It's exciting.
Well, just as you touched on with that, you know, we've really found that with ROX, getting sort of dedicated team members in certain areas of the business to really focus on that part, you know, that side of the business and what we do it's really streamlined the process. It's made us more aware of what our clients really need. Yep. You know, going off what we already know about, you know, what we already knew about mining parts. We already had years and years of experience in the field, but just putting some, you know, dedicated R&D, dedicated, you know, marketing, dedicated salespeople, and also guys, you know, out the back learning more about the product range and making sure all, you know, everything we put out comes complete with, you know, all components, you know, ready, and just being more aware of the whole process. And I think that's a huge, you know, that's really huge for in that space, and that's what we're looking at going with this new new brand as well. And
yeah, absolutely.
what are some of the main sort of products that we can expect to see in that range?
Well, it's kind of going to encompass things like your workbenches, your steel racking.
Yeah.
I would suggest at this stage it would encompass the access platforms, all that safety and efficiency, maintenance, enablement kind of product range.
Yeah.
Trestles, work stands, your lifting and handling equipment, all that stuff that's sort of designed and engineered and ready to go.
Yeah.
And I think we'll start moving towards, once again, like the workbenches have been redesigned in a modular way. That's what is going to be the benefit for the customer once there is that, like there is with ROX. I mean, you can already look at the benefits from your point of view with ROX, and from a customer point of view, getting that brochure like spot on, given that there is that level of subject matter expertise now. Transferring that capability into the new brand, smarter, faster ways of designing and manufacturing certain products will enable us to stock them more and shorten lead times and things like that. And I think that's the key thing, is like benefits for you guys, the customer, and us reconfiguring how our teams are internally to then benefit the customer externally, I think is the key.
Yeah.
And like you say, like when there is, you do become subject matter experts, like once we segmented the marketing team. So there's, you head up the ROX kind of thing and I kind of head up the other stuff. And obviously we got Jack as well, he's that lead designer, shared resource between what we're doing. It's been really cool.
It has.
And I think it's been really beneficial, and it's enabled us, our marketing team, to stay kind of lean too, which is really, really good.
Well, yeah, I mean, we were looking at, even 2 years ago, we were looking at getting, another junior sort of version of me involved in the team, and getting someone else on board, because we were pretty loaded up then. And I mean, we're doing even more stuff than what we were doing.
Yeah, we're
then.
doing the most we've ever done.
Yeah, for sure. And we haven't had to add that extra team member. Obviously that started from one of the classic Reese brainstorms out at around this time 2 years ago.
Yeah. I seem to get quite creative at this time of year.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a Christmas thing,
Yeah, all the ideas start flowing.
Yeah.
And and so we've been able to use our resources more efficiently, and I think that's an important lesson for any business, really. You hire your people to do a job, and we the way that you use your personnel is very, you can really turn it into efficiencies, and we've been able to really do that with, I have a much more clearer direction with what I'm doing with the ROX team, and you kind of have allowed me not to, to be able to do that, and you sort of take a back step, not have to worry about it all that much.
Yep.
And it's allowed, I've had to, I've really delved into what it's all about and learnt so much more about it. And we can't be an expert on everything, and what we do here is some pretty technical stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely, exactly right.
You do have a bit of a, you do have a bit of a technical background and hands-on background from in the past.
Previous job,
so you've got a pretty good idea of the engineering and manufacturing side, whereas I was pretty blown away when I started looking into all that side of the business. It's it's pretty crazy. So to really go into something that was still a relatively new field for us, and really learn the ins and outs of mining machines and OEM sort of replacement parts and everything, and that's basically using your resources effectively
that's the key.
Is huge.
That's the key. Yeah, exactly. And I think I've only added one person to the team, and look at how much more we're doing. Like, that's insane to me.
Yeah, it is.
That I've only added, obviously Jack's on board now. Sandra has moved on from the team. Jack's capabilities are incredible. So I think it is credit to myself, you, and Jack, and our capabilities of being able to keep the team lean, and you know what I mean, handle a lot ourselves. But who knows? I think the team will grow this year. I think it will grow in 2024. I think we'll add another person.
So. Yeah,
I think that's an exciting thing. Someone get it. It was great getting you out of uni and bringing you up through. I think doing that again, it would be the way that I'd want to do it. I reckon.
I agree.
And kind of try to teach him the ways, teach him the Bentec ways, and teach him the ways that I go about it, and all that. So,
what are some of the things that you and I can sort of look forward to in marketing, and also, I mean, we've sort of just spoken about the business as a whole of where we're heading, but what's some of the exciting bits of content that everyone can expect to see from us? And
more podcasts, more behind the bee, more on the road stuff.
Good to get out to site,
and things like that. I'd love to do an open day here, some kind of event. I feel like an event is the next big challenge that I'd love to try and take on. What that looks like, I'm not sure. But I think that kind of stuff is what's going to be coming in 2024. I think more collaboration with other, like, I guess, aligned brands and aligned organizations could be something that would be really, really great to move into as well.
Yep.
Getting that kind of like that co-marketing kind of thing going on. Look, that's some of this, but I think it's what I've always been a proponent of is understanding what works and then scaling it,
Yep.
So again, it just comes back to that message that I've touched on before in past podcasts, is like, got to keep the podcast is so new, and like we want to get the views right up there eventually,
for sure,
but we've got to stay the course and keep pumping out the content.
We do.
So lots more of that, more behind the bees, like I said, and brand launches, like really solidifying the brands and the identities of those product and service ranges.
Yeah. And
again, scaling.
That's it. Website too, ROX website.
Yeah, that's
huge project.
That's a big project, and
project.
that could be coming as well in 2024. We'll see. There's a lot of I guess back end stuff that needs to be decided upon before we get to that. But that's going to be a game changer once we launch that. That's I've no doubt that we'll be the industry benchmark in being able to buy and receive parts and
100%
minimize downtime. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's the main.
Eliminate it ideally. We want it to be seamless for the customer. So keep an eye on that. I think that's going to be a big thing we've got coming. A lot of work, but it's going to be a big deal.
Oh yeah.
What are your highlights of 2023? You personally, you know what I mean, from a work point of view, some of the stuff you've worked on.
Yep. Amex was really cool. We've spoken about that a couple of times, but just the trade shows are really fun they're a really long project throughout the year, and that's really cool when it all comes together. There's a lot of moving parts and a lot of nervous energy going into it all, and but yeah, that was really cool. And just launching ROX, launching this podcast, those have really been my highlights of the year. And also a lot of the work we've been doing on fuel tanks, as part of the ROX brand. We've working closely with R&D and sales and also our awesome team out the back. We've really put a lot of resources into fuel tanks.
Yeah.
And they're really starting to come together.
Yeah, those last few that went out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
They looked
unreal.
So good. So good.
Yeah, unreal. And the fuel tanks that's a really cool, exciting project for us, and we've done a lot of work in marketing on that, and Jack's helped us out with some cool cool visuals in that, and we'll have some more coming out soon.
Yeah.
And, those are the highlights. Been a big year personally as well. It's been a big year personally. We've been a big year of I've gone on a couple of holidays, which has been really nice. It's always good to get away and get on a little surf trip over in Indo and everything, and playing a lot of golf, which we again speak about here a little bit, and that's been really fun.
Yeah.
Staying fit, training for a marathon, which didn't actually happen. So that's next year. Marathon has to happen.
Yeah.
And
I'm still yet to run a full marathon. I'd love to still do that if my knees can handle it.
yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
Every year gets tougher.
Yeah, well, that's become the thing. My knees are absolutely cactus at the moment.
Yeah,
but we'll get there eventually, I feel.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, we've obviously been having a lot of fun playing golf together.
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, keeping the scores down. I think we made a couple bold calls pretty early on in the pod that would get
breaking par.
Yeah, would be breaking par, and
The closest I've got's 7 over.
Yeah,
for 18.
For 18, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
That's not too
79.
bad. That's a great score.
Yeah,
But
that's still a ways off.
that's still a few
breaking
shots
par.
off.
Yeah, it is.
We haven't actually even been able to break par when playing our 2-ball together yet. Which
Yeah, well, that's it. That's it. Yeah, well, the best scramble score I've had even.
Yeah.
Best, and I've had 1 over for a 9. That's probably my best round. I've done that twice.
Yep.
But again, it's like that's 9 holes.
Yeah, just a nice
still-
like twilight,
Yeah.
after work kind of golf day, which you're always a bit more relaxed.
Yeah, exactly. It's good fun though. Hey, like
It is.
It's. I think like for myself, like recapturing the vibe with golf has been really fun. Getting some new clubs and all of that, and starting to work
driver.
on the big TSR 3 Titleist.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
long. And yeah, but I think this year was awesome. Some of the content we put out this year has been really, really good. I've really enjoyed filming a lot of videos. The standard workbenches video is done really well. The eHub video has probably been one of our best.
Yeah.
That's had so many views and so much engagement. I think it's getting close to like 300 likes now.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's
So that was a great video, and we involved a few of the team in that as well. Given that we use them all around this place. So that's really good. I think the video we did on those 793F platforms that we did recently.
Yep.
And then we got some photos back from Jackson of them on site.
Yeah, they were
wrapped around a
incredible.
793. Oh,
The big
they're
tray
just-
access platforms.
And then all the guys at the back that were involved, jumping in on a photo.
Yeah.
Guys like Ben, Piero, Tane, Kieran as well.
Yep.
And then obviously you've got, all the assembly boys, Yargo, Mark, Kev, Andy.
Yep.
All involved in that, and Jason as well. And the project managers, people like Junior and Ricardo and yeah, I think and Corey as well, and there Carlson's in there too.
Carlson,
Just hopefully I didn't forget anybody just then.
Yeah, you went bold naming all the. There's a lot of people involved in a project that.
That's the thing. There's so many people
It's
involved
crazy,
in bringing those platforms together. That was so like the scale was so insane.
I know. Yeah.
And getting up on them to film, getting up on them and getting amongst some of those products sometimes is really quite good as well. Because once it's gone from here, I don't get to see it anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
Aside from some photos, so they were great. And I think seeing you do your thing with the ROX launch was wicked as well. Getting away, getting Bruce over there with you.
Yeah,
we've done a few of those now. If you bring a Bruce along to some trade shows, and I think that's something I want to continue to do.
Yep.
And who knows? I've got James on the task of trying to get us a site visit and film like a C-Deck video.
I think that would be really cool to get happening next year. I mean, we need to be getting out on site and hopefully we'll be allowed to take some video and everything.
That's it.
We'll have
That's
to work closely and but that's where we want to be. We want to get some, hopefully see. That'd be, imagine, getting out and seeing one of those, that tray access platform out on site and seeing the way seeing what it, like how the guys out there use it, like how it's actually used and just the scale of the machines out there. it'd just be great to get out there.
Yeah. 100%. I think that should be one of our top goals for 2024.
Yeah.
That we can kind of reflect on in
Yep.
another year's time. Getting out on site, myself, you, Bruce, and maybe someone like James or one of the other guys, Dion or Jacko, Lucho even. Depends on who can organise something and tee something up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think adding Jack to the team's been fantastic as well. Obviously, we did a lot of work with Sandra, and she was with us for many, many, many years. But bringing Jack and his expertise onto the team, and how he's just sort of, it feels like he's been here forever now.
Yeah, that's right. He's doing some awesome work.
Amazing work, and bringing branding and stuff like that's something I enjoy, and I think I'm relatively good at coming up with brand names and things like that. But bringing them to life is the next part of it. He does that really, really well, and I love kind of seeing my ideas come to life, through the graphic design component of it and the visual media component of it.
100%.
So what do you think? What are some goals for you for 2024?
I would really like to get better with the whole, the podcast, the video. I'm not quite as natural with it all as as some, and it's that's one thing I really want to work on. I think it's really cool to get on video. It's as I'm sure a lot of people listening would agree, like it's scary getting up on camera, for most people at least, and so just getting more comfortable with that, and then also just probably continuing to improve my knowledge in the field of, particularly with the ROX field, so around mining machines and the way that, these parts that we provide these sites, the way that we're able to, really what they're for, how they protect the machine, what kind of life they've got, just getting a little bit more into that, so then I can, hopefully then sort of create some content a little bit more towards be a little bit more of an expert in the field, I guess, and be able to really speak to the guys who are using the equipment, and and then be able to write some content and everything around that, and so that's mostly what I'm excited for. And again, if we get this website, hopefully we can get this website up and running. That's really exciting, and
I reckon we'll get a start on it next year.
Yeah, at least get a start. Yeah. I think that's a huge project, and I'm keen to be involved in that, and use what I've learnt in the industry, and learnt from the guys who are going to be buying the parts, learn their pain points of what they currently have with their systems, and be able to help streamline that process, and be able to deliver a platform where we can really have that downtime process just reduced, eliminated, just really be able to get from order to here to then get out on the truck, out to them, all components ready to go, and just be able to be part of creating a system that allows for that. And so those are some of the things I'm most excited for here next year.
Yeah.
What about yourself?
Launching that new brand successfully. I'm looking forward to doing that. I'm looking forward to rolling up some new initiatives into that launch, events and things like that. Getting these podcasts up into the thousands of views would be really nice, and getting that subscriber number up. Filming another 20 odd episodes of Behind the Bee, and growth. You know what I mean? I guess that if we talk about like I go hard in terms of my goals for growth for my KPIs and things like that. Another 40% of growth in my KPI areas would be nice. Do that again. Done that for the last few years now, and doing that again, it's always a daunting task when I look back, when I sit there and look at the numbers and I'm like, okay, now I've got to do that again.
Yeah. Every year when that target's set, it's like, That seems really.
I've never had a problem with it, so I'm not going to pretend like I'm going to have a problem with it this time. I think I've got a great team around me.
That's it.
So we'll do our thing, but obviously that's an important thing to be there, and getting heaps of guests on here. Aside from all the goals around, like I said, the KPI piece, getting more guests on here and having some great discussions. And really taking this podcast, see what we can really do with this podcast,
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of what I reckon, like I think, and I reckon adding another person to the team.
Yep.
I love hiring new people. I've been very lucky to hire yourself and Jack, and building a great vibe in the marketing dojo.
Yeah, there's vibes going in there.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. So that's all I reckon. I think we can probably wrap the podcast up there. I think that's a good way to finish off the year, and this episode will likely be released in 2024.
Yeah, probably the first one, yeah.
Yeah, and I think, there's some great things we can look back on and some great videos we can look back on throughout that last year. But yeah, look, I think, again, please like and subscribe to the podcast. It'll help myself and Jake out heaps. As you all know now, the whole YouTube thing is not new, but we want to keep bringing you guys awesome content. We want to kind of get as much feedback as we can and make sure we're bringing our viewers what they want to see and that from us. So yeah, I think we can kind of, what do you think? Wrap it up there?
Yep, sure. Yep, that's been fun. 7 episodes.
Yeah, 7 episodes.
7 episodes down, and getting. Just if you got any questions or anything, please ask us.
Yeah.
We're interested to hear about what you're interested in and discuss it. So, yeah, hopefully we hear from you soon.
Definitely. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Welcome to 2024. When this episode is released, we hope hopefully you've all had a wicked Christmas and a wicked New Year and ready to attack this one like we are.
Yep.
So thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Take care.